Well, last week, students received an email from the Office of the President informing them that on May 1st, 2014, the Springfield College Campus Police Department would officially become armed. Our very own Logan Mullen went into diving in on the story of the week. Let's take a look at what Logan uncovered.
Big news broke recently at Springfield College as the announcement of the long-anticipated arming of campus police officers was made. The news is one that many figured would come upon the inauguration of President Mary Beth Cooper, as Chief of Police Judy Jackson, a firm advocate of the arming, clashed on the issue with former President Richard Flynn. In a statement to the Springfield Student, Jackson said, quote, "We have been gearing up for this moment. We have been training constantly." Springfield is not alone in the recent decision, as other area schools such as Greenfield and Holyoke community colleges are making the decision to arm their officers as well. Students on campus have expressed concern over the past few years, as it is no secret about the crime concern in the immediate Old Hill area, the neighborhood that the college is nestled in. Junior Scott Bushy believes that the recent decision will at least institute peace of mind into those living on campus.
I feel as if it's a good thing. There have been issues in the past where it would have been beneficial for officers to have firearms. So I feel as if we're finally getting to where we have to be. So we want to be proactive instead of reactive. We don't want to get to the point where something does happen and we look back and say, we could have.
There are other students, such as freshman Tori Bouchard, who are not generally in favor of guns, but given the circumstances, they actually believe that the decision may not be such a bad idea after all.
I typically don't like guns, but I think that the right people, like the officers of Springfield College, should be allowed to use them.
The campus is beautiful and well secured, but there is simply no doubting the environment around campus. Many faculty members have spoken out against the issue, but many students feel that some faculty should not be as involved, given that they don't live on campus. Nevertheless, there is only one faculty member that does live on campus, President Mary Beth Cooper, and she, needless to say, is in favor. Though the decision has been made, the officers will not begin carrying the weapons until May. For SCTV3, I'm Logan Mullen.
Thanks for that, Logan. Well, it's been a busy week in the sports world, both here on Springfield College on the campus as the winter teams get into their postseason and at the professional level. But before we get into this week's sports report, which Candace Tibbetts will have for us momentarily, we go inside the Pride this week as Bree Hill takes us in with an inside look at the men's and women's diving team.
Last weekend, Springfield College men's and women's diving teams dominated the NUMAC Championship, sweeping first place in all 4 boards and posting 21 national qualifying scores. This weekend, the men and women will face the toughest competition in the Northeast as the Pride compete in the NCAA Diving Regionals on Saturday and Sunday, looking for a bid in the upcoming NCAA Championship. We spoke with NUMAC Coach of the Year Pete Abdulis and NUMAC Divers of the Year Jen Thompson and Jack Lewis about this weekend's regional championship.
Well, Jen and Jack are just great leaders of the team. They're very, very hard workers, and the rest of the team follows that. So I think that they set the tone, and everyone did just a great job there.
Winning NUMAC championships on both boards was such an incredible feeling, especially being a senior. I wasn't aware of it until after the meet, but no Springfield woman has ever won Diver of the Year 2 years in a row, so that was really awesome. It was such a proud moment for me and for my whole team. Every single person made finals, and that was great. So we're really proud of what our program has been able to accomplish.
It was a really fun weekend. It's my 3rd year doing it now, and really it's probably my best performance yet, so I was really happy with it. Like, the atmosphere was great. Everyone's really happy with how they did.
It's great to have Springfield divers on the top block there during the awards, and it's really special to have multiple Springfield divers. Seeing all that maroon and white up there on the award stand is great.
It was such an amazing feeling having all the hard work pay off, especially because I had been working with an injury, especially this year. I've had a lot of knee problems, and I've had a couple different times where I've had to sit out and limit my practices, but being able to come back from that and try to put it aside has made finishing the whole season, not just this meet, but especially the whole season, so much better. So.
Well, it's happening for a long time now. Usually the men have won the last 12 years, I believe, on both boards. So been named NUMAC Diver of the Year. It's really special showing how good Pete is as a coach. I wasn't very good at first, like coming from a small town in New Hampshire where didn't dive 3 meter or anything. Pete's working really well. They got me to do a lot more than I thought I ever could. And it's really exciting to see how far it's come and see how far I can go in the future.
The camaraderie between all 8 of us, 4 men and 4 women, is awesome. It's been a long season, and for us to get through it together is something that's really important, and I don't think I would have done it without them. And they've really picked me up when I've had my bad days with my knee, and I've picked them up when they've had their bad days too, and it's nice to be in a sport where you can kind of just escape the frustrations of the day and just come here and be with your team and really focus on doing something good that we all can do together. So that's great.
Well, we're always together every practice, every day, so we get along pretty well. Sometimes we get a little battles like a little family, like brothers and sisters, so we yell at each other, push each other in the pool. So it's really fun working together every day. I don't think it would be the same if it was separate men and women, so I'm very happy with that.
Being a role model is such an honor, especially to the younger divers, both the men and the women. We all do work really well together, and we know what it's like to try to learn these same dives. We do a lot of the same things, so having to, be there to help them and kind of give them tips and things really, I think, is important because, I've messed up a lot on those same dives, and to help them kind of avoid that is good. And, we learn together and we grow together, and that's the best part about it.
The competition for regionals is different from NUMAC's because it's the best in the Northeast, and the NESCAC schools have a lot of great divers, and even in New York as well. So the goal is always to just do your best and do a clean program, and then you just have to kind of let the chips fall as they may.
I think we're just looking to improve on our performances for this weekend, but it's not about winning per se, it's about performance, and in order to do well and go to nationals, you have to perform well. So we just have to keep positive and try to improve on everything we did this past weekend, and then we should be fine.
Last year didn't go so well as the first alternate on both boards, so trying to refocus and kind of forget about this past weekend of basically focusing what's ahead of me and one dive at a time, basically.
On Saturday, the men's volleyball team will host a pair of matches at 2 and 4. Be sure to come out and show your support, and as always, follow Springfield College Athletics on Twitter for the latest updates. I'm Bree Hill. Roll Pride.
Sports intro.
The Springfield College women's basketball team beat Coast Guard 57-54 in the NUMAC quarterfinals on Wednesday. This is the Pride's second meeting with Coast Guard in just 4 days. Number 6 Springfield lost to Coast Guard in the previous games, but was able to pull off the upset that advanced them to the semifinals and sends number 3 Coast Guard home. Springfield was led by Jamie Bickelhout, who had 13 points and 11 rebounds, and Riley Fake, who finished with 9 points. The Pride will travel to Smith College to take on number 2 Wheaton on Saturday. The Springfield College men's basketball team had their final regular season game this past Saturday. Brendan McLean has more on the story.
The Springfield College men's basketball team closed out the regular season on Saturday with an 83-60 win over the visiting Coast Guard. Seaman Kilday and Sean Martin led all scorers with 14 points each. Nick Stankiewicz added 13 for the Pride, while Robbie Burke added 10 of his own. Springfield shot 25 of 55, 45% from the floor, and 9 of 18, 50% from three-point range. The Pride really came to play. They jumped out to an early lead and didn't look back. The Pride ended the first half with a 31-24 lead. Springfield then dominated the second half, which even saw a 17-2 run. At one point in the half, the score was 52-30. Coast Guard was led by David Anderson with a team-high 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Devontae Weems added 10 points of his own and 5 of 8 shooting for the Bears. An important note from this game was it was in fact senior day. Pride seniors Tim Swinson and Robbie Burke were both honored before the game. With the win, Springfield advances to the NUMAC semifinals against Babson to be played on Saturday, March 1st at 3 p.m. at WPI. This will be the third meeting between the two teams this year, as they split during the regular season. Springfield stands at 19-6 overall and 10-4 in the NUMAC with the win Saturday over Coast Guard. The game against Babson should be very, very good. For SCTV3, I am Brendan McLean.
The Springfield College women's lacrosse team rolled past Eastern Connecticut State this past Tuesday in their season opener. Springfield dominated the game with a 19-1 win. Kelly Gallo led the Pride with 6 points on 4 goals, and Jennifer McDonough had 5 points in the first half. The Pride outshot Eastern 20-2 and scored 11 points and 8 in the second half. The Pride travel on Saturday to take on Roger Williams at 1. The men's volleyball team fell short to visiting Concordia University in the championship match of the Volleyball Hall of Fame Morgan Classic on Saturday. Barry Ubois has more on the story.
Thanks, guys. SC men's volleyball was on cruise control on Friday night against Santa Cruz as they went on to win in 4 sets. SC won the first 2 sets 25-22 and 25-15 before dropping the third set 23-25. SC was able to close the match out in the 4th set 25-21. Senior Ryan Malone was the star of the match with a match-high 17 kills. Angel Perez also added 12 kills, and senior Nick Ferry had a match-high 11 digs. Jim O'Leary had 7 blocks, and Luis Rubio dished out 47 helpers. On Saturday night, SC got swept in 3 sets by Concordia Irene in the final round of the Volleyball Hall of Fame Morgan Classic. For SCTV3, I'm Barry LeBlanc.
The Daytona 500 took place this past Sunday, and I took a look at the events of the day and who was named the new winner. Let's check it out. The Daytona 500 took place this past Sunday, and the biggest race of the year received a new winner. Engines were revved and the green flag waved, but only 45 minutes into the race, the rain started, resulting in a 6-hour and 22-minute rain delay. When the race resumed, Dale Earnhardt Jr. dominated the track, resulting in his victory. He led 6 times after the rain delay, with a race high of 54 laps. Things looked good for Earnhardt Jr. until the end of the race when 42 lead changes and 4 multi-car accidents occurred, but Jr. held on strong and was the first driver to cross the finish line. This is his second victory in the last 10 years after finishing second in the last 3 of the previous 4 Daytona 500s. Due to the win-and-get-it format in which a championship-eligible driver in any chase race will automatically clinch the winning driver a spot in the next round, Earnhardt is now eligible to race for the Sprint Cup final. One event during the delay that created much chaos was when Fox Sports replayed last year's Daytona 500 to fill airtime, confusing hundreds of people and resulting in last year's winner Jimmy Johnson to receive hundreds of congratulatory tweets. Now a new member of the Twitter world is Earnhardt Jr. himself, after joking that if he won, he would make a Twitter account, and he has kept his word. Stay tuned for more NASCAR updates and the race for the Sprint Cup. For SCTV3, I'm Candace Tibbetts. The 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics have come to a close, and the United States comes home with 28 medals in total, 9 gold, 7 silver, and 12 bronze. Gold medalists for the U.S. include Merrill Davis and Charlie White for figure skating, Ted Ligety for alpine skiing, and Jamie Anderson for women's slopestyle snowboarding. History was made when Erin Hamlin won bronze for women's single luge, the first time any American has won a medal in this event, and men's bobsled, who won bronze in this event for the first time in 60 years. Some disappointment at the games included Shaun White, who for the first time goes home without a medal. But he feels confident that he can make a return in the next 4 years for the next Winter Olympics. Well, that is all I have for you for sports this week. I'm Candace Tibbetts. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Well, that's going to do it for us yet again. We'll be back next Thursday night, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern. For everybody behind the scenes, Bree Hill, my co-host here, Candace on sports, Kyle and Katie, we appreciate you tuning in. We will see you next week. That's going to do it for us. See you next week.